Welcome to West of Tulsa. I'm CJ Ward. We are broadcasting from Ventura, California. But not quite a full house. We have 3 empty seats. There you go. You can see them all right there. Dan at the controls.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. We got Gabe's back.
Yep.
All right. And our guest today, Steve Goldfield. Now, I'm trying to figure out the best way to introduce you. So you dabbled in a little bit of everything, which is great because we're going to get to hear these great stories. But you've done some movies, movie production, rallies. You founded
Lots of rallies.
Cars and coffee. But more than anything else, you got petroleum going through your veins. So we know you're a full-blown car guy.
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Speaking of, what did you drive here today?
812 Superfast Ferrari.
Man, it sounded so good as he was pulling up.
And what was the color again? Sorry.
Oh, the color, Rosso Fiorano. It's a dark red. It's not burgundy, even though sometimes people...
Beautiful color.
It is. And you got the big gold rims on there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice combination.
Is that gold or bronze?
They're
I don't know.
bronze.
Is it bronze?
But I
Okay.
didn't want to correct them. So.
Yeah. You don't correct the host.
No, not at all.
No.
I
There you
didn't
go.
do
It's a
that.
beautiful car. And thank you for joining us today.
Sure.
Yeah. We have a lot of great stories. We know that. We was kind of previewing here before we started recording. So we're like, okay, we got to remember, we got to ask about this, got to ask about that. So people, since we touched on it, you did some movie production. Tell us about some of the movies that you've done.
Nothing major. I mean, it was investment and then some help, getting everything going on movies like Vigilante Diaries and but which didn't make it too big. So the movies I've done were fun. I've traveled all over the world trying to put these things on, but didn't make me a hell of a lot of money. So I was like, I'm not.
Well, I Googled it and I saw one had a Ferrari on the cover. Is it?
That's
Which one is that?
let's see, Fierce Target.
Fierce Target.
Fierce
That's
Target,
That's
right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, I was thinking, he's got some good taste in putting that on the cover.
that was my
Yeah.
430 Ferrari.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, they're all mine. Yeah,
So that was yours.
that was mine.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you've done some movies. Zuma Cars and Coffee. You started that.
Okay, that's the whole.
This
That's
one-
the whole story.
So this will take a half hour alone, right?
Well, I'll do the abridged version.
Okay,
I'll bring it
good.
down like 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
So when did you start it?
Okay, so it's how I started it. During COVID, I decided to put on a Cars and Coffee. A friend of mine had the Calamigos Beach Club in Malibu, and it's a restaurant. And so we got a few cars there. We got maybe 50, 60 cars there during COVID. It was a place to go because none of us wanted to be incapacitated or sit at home. There's no way that was going to stop us from living. So we put that on, and after and they're very successful, beautiful, right across from the ocean. And then the city of Malibu said, you can't do it. And that was the end of that one. Then
We've heard that a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then there was a civic center event that was not mine. It was, it just happened. No one was putting it on. No one was in charge of it. It went on for a few years. And the city of Malibu didn't want it, but they had no way of stopping it since there was no one
In charge.
No one in charge.
The way to do it.
After trying several things, they finally decided make the parking lot there at Civic Center where Marmalade is, make it valet parking. That was the end of it.
Gosh.
That was over. That was a brilliant move on the city of Malibu.
That's how they got you guys.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I got pissed off.
A car guy thought of that one.
Something like that.
Yeah, he's like,
I don't know.
here's how you stop
A
it.
car guy wouldn't want to stop that, though.
You don't think
I don't
so?
think a car guy stopped
But he
it.
had to have some kind of knowledge to know that if you put a valet up there,
Somebody who's slick. Let's just say.
somebody who's slick. Okay.
It was a brilliant move, but I got pissed off. This is how Zuma started. So I had nowhere to go on a Sunday because for the last many, many years I've been going, I've enjoyed my Cars and Coffee, going to those events, having 200-300 cars there and friends. So I drove up the coast. I saw Zuma Beach. I saw the first parking lot and I go, holy crap, this would make a great Cars and Coffee. And people can't bug us because people will pay like $10 to come in, and no one cared about that. So a week later, I had 150 cars. We got the word out to friends. Got 150 cars there. Big success. The second month, we do these once a month, and we call it Zuma Cars and Coffee because we're in Zuma Beach. Second month, we had over 300 cars there. Very peaceful event.
Yeah.
And we had cars coming from Orange County. I had Paganis. Had Conan Segs, if you've ever seen
Oh,
these.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
La Ferraris
Wow.
and lots of Ferraris and Lambos and all the exotic
So they
cars.
could afford the $10 entry fee to get into the parking lot.
Barely,
Yeah,
but they
okay,
did.
Okay.
Anyway, so we did that for 2 months. And of course, I get a email notice from the county parks and beaches. You can't put on car shows there. Great. So it was
How'd
already
they find you, though? I mean, was it set up as if...
Instagram,
Oh, okay.
Zuma Cars and Coffee.
Too much evidence out there.
No, I don't hide from anyone, so it's known. At any rate, so they found me, but I couldn't stop it because it was already, people were already used to it, and it was already promoted. So I let them know. I said, well, it's going to probably happen next time, but I'm not promoting it.
Right.
So went there next time, and there's video of this. You got to see it. We get in there. They had 5 goons, county goons, at the entrance there to the parking lot where you pay to get in. Wouldn't let any of us in because our cars were too nice, and they said you can't come in.
Wow.
Seriously?
Seriously, and
I've never heard of that before.
Discrimination against
we are
car owners.
we are more discriminated than anything you can figure across the U.S. We are the discriminated group,
Wow.
the car people.
Wow.
At any rate, so then I think there were probably behind me, I think there were 100 or 200 exotic cars waiting to get in, following me in. It's on our Instagram. Okay, so then we went down to the Ralph's Market and hung out there for a while, and that was the end of Zuma. So not to give up, I had to find another place. So I found Aviator Nation Dreamland in Malibu. Beautiful little restaurant, like a clubhouse, very 60s with a stage, and it was couches. They served breakfast and lunch and dinner, and right across from the pier in Malibu. We had 150, maybe almost 200 cars come. Part of them were parking at Malibu, at the pier. Well, this one here, the city of Malibu had ordered 6 or 7 sheriff's cars to harass us. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not the
Jeez.
sheriff's fault because they love us. And we love them. We've always supported them. They've supported us. It's the city of Malibu tells the sheriff because they pretty much hire him what to do.
Yeah.
So our people are getting front license plate tickets, things you wouldn't believe because we're a peaceful group. And again, there's video on this on our Instagram of the police out in front pulling over cars. One guy, GT40, pulls out. Instantly, a cop just pulls out, leaving our event. Cop pulls him over, gives him, not only did he not have a front license plate, but his rear license plate had a little happy face on it. So with a happy face, that was desecrating a license plate.
my
So he ended up with a moving violation and an $800 ticket.
Oh, man.
Oh, it was awful. So that was the end of Malibu, even though we were Zuma Cars and Coffee. I then found Killer Shrimp in Marina Del Rey, and I knew they put on car events. All right, so I talked to the people there. They said, we need a home, and said, yeah, come on down. We met them. Room for 300 cars on their lot. Beautiful. So they said, yeah, let's start it. And so we started. We've been there almost a year and a half. Beautiful location, great restaurant, right at Marina Del Rey, very upscale, no issues. And we had the whole parking lot on once a month on Sunday morning. Okay. Now, we're still Zuma Cars and Coffee in Marina Del Rey. Now, I wrote, and we actually have a piece on our website, and whatever, that's called, Why are we called Zuma Cars and Coffee if we're in Marina Del Rey? Yeah, we were at Killer Shrimp. Okay, so I ended up saying, well, we couldn't very well call it Zuma Cars and Shrimp. Okay. All right. So now, everything wonderful. We were about to put on our Cinco de Mayo event, actually on Cinco de Mayo. Had these wonderful PR. I had 4 mariachis to come out, and they were going to surprise people and serenade the cars as they came in.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then it was going to be, and had our sombreros and our outfits, and it was actually pretty good. Oh, and I had like 5 lowriders coming. One of the lowriders was Snoop Dogg rode that lowrider in the Super Bowl halftime.
Okay.
That's one of them. So these are like
okay.
the top end. These are very cool people.
Yeah.
So it was going to be quite an event, and it disappointed everyone when the county told Killer Shrimp they couldn't have any more car events because another Cars and Coffee event that was happening the same day a month before had a McLaren, some idiot in a McLaren pulls out just to show off, smashes into the center divider on PCH and then pours over and smashes into 3 cars. And there's like a couple hundred people, paparazzi and out there. And this is on video, and that caught the attention of the county. And so because of that, it was the county parks and beaches. Okay, because of that, they got a hold of Killer Shrimp, which we had nothing to do with it, and said you can't hold any more car events.
Because of a crash a month before. That had nothing to do with
it was
you
the
guys.
same day as
Okay,
ours was on.
okay.
Ours was in Marina. Theirs was in Pacific
Still,
Palisades. So without mentioning names of the event, but that was the end of their event. They no longer hold any cars and coffee events.
Right.
So we were technically, except for I think one in Griffith Park, the only LA proper cars and coffee event existing. And there may be a couple of small ones around. So now I'm stuck with the problem of having a large following and nowhere to go. And I kept fighting and found, of all places, Redondo Beach. Someone told me about it. I went down there. I'm thinking, well, it's too far. Well, in reality, it was only like 10 minutes away from Killer Shrimp and Marina. I go down there and I see this big, beautiful place. And one fellow owns 3 restaurants there in this giant parking lot that wants us there. And he's also on the board, the commission. And there's room for easy 500 cars. And it's on the ocean. Wow. And it's beautiful. And there are restaurants, and there's a pier next door, and there's things to do, and there's boating, and it's a whole recreational thing. They wanted us there, got the city to back us. And so the city, everyone wants us there. There's no issues with not being there. So our first one is going to be this coming Sunday. Now, as you told me, this is not going to air until after our event. So right. Sorry, everyone, if you guys missed it. So,
but if you don't get kicked out of there, you plan on holding it once a month.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And we shouldn't get, there's no reason. I mean, our group is as large as it is. It's a very peaceful group, very respectable, and great cars that you wouldn't believe. So, and everyone's invited. So be once a month. It'll be on the first Sunday of every month.
So you don't think you're going to end up in Laguna at some point?
No, but we're now Zuma
in
cars,
Tijuana.
Yeah.
Zuma Cars and Coffee is now in Redondo Beach.
There you go.
And
okay.
someone made a comment, pretty soon it'll be in Tijuana. So, there's the Zuma story.
Yeah. Wow. Well, tell us about some of the rallies, because it sounds like you've been involved in some great rallies.
Yes. Oh, one other thing on Zuma. During all this, when we didn't have a place, we have the Zuma riots. Okay. And this was downtown. I have video if you guys want to show you the Zuma riots. So we're there and got about 100 people behind me, and we're in Skid Row downtown. Got the Zuma hat on and like that, and the whole group behind me is going, Zuma, Zuma, Zuma. And then they swerve around on the other side, and you have all the police there in riot gear, and the mounted police and the helicopters and all this around for the Zuma riots downtown at Skid Row. And this is like, I think it was the night before they went in to clear out the
camps.
The camp, the protests that were going on at USC.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and in reality, this was just, we were helping the police department,
Okay.
and we're practicing. We're throwing things at them. They're shooting less than lethal at us. They put a car on fire, and it's in a worse part of L.A. that you can imagine. And it was a lot of fun. So at any rate, those were the Zuma riots. I took advantage of it. And if you look at it, I had people calling me, say, Steve, you're an idiot. You're what are you doing to the LAPD? And they thinking it was real.
Yeah.
They thought the riots were real. At any rate.
So even the riots don't happen in Zuma.
No, we don't get riots at Zuma. No, but we have fun. We are a little bit different than others because we always try to make it fun and surprise people and do a bunch of weird crap.
Wow.
You were saying before.
It sounds like you have a passion for rallies, too. Talk about some of the rallies that you participated in and how much fun they are and craziness that happens.
Okay. Well, I don't know where to start. I mean,
what was the first one you
Yeah,
were
what was
in?
the first rally?
Yeah.
First one probably was Gold Rush Rally, which was absolutely great. And I was started on that one. Usually have about 100 cars. And one of the fun things about it was pranking people. So I introduced pranking in there. And we did some weird stuff on the rally. And we go usually across the U.S., start in L.A. and end up in Florida or somewhere. It could be New York or Chicago or start different places. And great group of people there. I mean, it's a good rally. But I can think of some of the pranking. I got a friend of mine in Malibu pulled over. This is during the rally, pulled over by L.A. County Sheriff while we were in Malibu, going slow, and he was actually in his rolls. So he got pulled over, and the cop, with lights and sirens, goes over, starts harassing him about how fast he's going, even though he's just creeping. I mean, really giving him a bunch of crap. And then I'm in the Ferrari in front, and I get out of the Ferrari, and I've got my iPhone, and I'm taking the video, coming closer and closer.
Oh, they
he's
love
getting
that.
pissed off at me. He's getting the driver. He's getting pissed off, like I'm going to get the cop mad.
Oh, okay.
So I get up closer and closer, and then finally the cop takes off his helmet. It shows my friend that it happened to be a good friend of mine, the cop, who was my co-pilot on Gumball Rally the year before. And I had it all set up to harass Scott.
That is funny.
Oh, yeah. So we did that. So he got back at me on that. We got to Vegas, and then they had a thing where they're going to ship the cars to Texas and put us on a Southwest jet to go to Texas to pick up our cars. So we're there, and all of a sudden I hear we're in the air, and passenger Steve Goldfield, please identify where you are. So, yeah, here. And all of a sudden, happy birthday, Steve Goldfield. Happy 85th birthday.
Oh.
So you can imagine the rest of the rally went to hell.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
So, and everyone on the plane starts singing happy birthday to me. So,
That's funny.
And Pete comments I'm getting afterwards, oh, he looks really good for 85. So but then we did the rally again, Gold Rush again the next year. And I even put together a little video to mess with people, a Family Guy video with Stewie narrating it. And we had our friends written or, looking like Family Guy characters at any rate. Okay, so we're doing the plane thing again, and this time I was prepared. Okay, so I'm waiting. Of course, they did happy 86th birthday, and this time it's okay. Okay, a little while later, I went to the flight attendant and I said, "You see the couple there? They're getting married." It was a surprise, and they're getting married at the end of the rally, and please, announce something. And so I gave all the participants on Gold Rush, I actually had professionally made wedding invitations with the ribbon and everything. I mean, spent a lot of money on it, handed it to all the participants, and they had no idea that it was happening. So then I go over and stand there, and all of a sudden the flight attendant, announces their names. I'm going to withhold the names. And congratulations on getting married and having your ceremony at the final party for Gold Rush. And
Stunned.
Everyone's applauding them, and I throw the invitation on like that. It was absolutely great. It shocked the hell out of me.
Before the show started, we were asking you questions about the rallies and stuff, and the first thing you said was they're really expensive. Is it expensive because of all the money you're spending on the pranks?
Pranks, yeah.
Well, no. When I get to Gumball, you'll see. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, Gold Rush isn't that expensive. It's a decent price.
Sure.
Gold, it's a good
Oh,
one.
wait, you know what we should do is context for our listeners who don't know what a rally is.
I was just going to ask the same thing.
Yeah.
I know what a rally is, but I mean, I think a lot of people don't know what a rally
Steve,
is.
could you explain what the rallies typically are?
Bottom line, a rally is a party on wheels for 1,000 to 3,000 miles with exotic cars. That's what it is.
Sounds
it's
cool.
not a
Good
race.
explanation. I like it. Yeah.
And
It's
that's why
not
you
a
like
race,
'em. Yeah.
even though a lot of cars will go very fast, but a lot of people go normal speed. It's just a party, and it's some of the greatest parties you can ever imagine.
Wow.
But,
We have to go do one.
We need an exotic
Yeah,
car.
we need an exotic car.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's fun.
that was an example of Gold Rush, which is to this day is doing great. They have other things they put on the fuel run and
Pretty cool.
cars on Broadway up in Monterey and stuff. So it's a very cool thing to do.
What's your favorite one?
Well, I put on my own rally, but I guess we can get to that afterwards.
No, go ahead and tell us about your rally.
Mine or Gumball? Mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, if you started your own rally.
Oh, so okay. So
I'll ask you later about what your favorite one is.
Oh,
if
is
it's not
that
your own.
okay. I guess I got a lot to say, don't
Yeah,
I?
you do. That's why we're giving you as much time as you need.
Good. After we have this thing done, I can just play it for people and I can shut up.
There you go.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. So from Gold Rush, and this is years ago, from 14 or 15, I think it's 2014 probably is the last time I did Gold Rush, and decided to put on my own rally. So one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to have a rally that was different. In fact, you'll appreciate this being Tulsa. Okay. This is right in your neck of the woods. So I wanted to put on a rally that was different. And instead of just where all the rallies go to the major cities, Miami or Florida, London or whatever, I wanted something to go through the Midwest.
Right in the heartland, right?
I wanted that. And I was going, okay, so we can go through Iowa, Oklahoma, maybe tie in with some of these groups, rock groups that are performing, older rock groups that are performing at clubs and ending up there at night and just doing something. And I was, jokingly call it the Podunk Rally. Podunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the original name. Okay. So that was the idea. And it would have been very successful as that because it was different. It's, here's when you go into town, a town where the best cars that people there have seen are maybe a 3-year-old Corvette. And now all of a sudden we come in with the Lambos and the Ferraris and the Bugattis and whatever. And the mayor hands me a key to the city, hopefully. Who knows? I've never had a key to the city. I don't know if I deserve it. At any rate, so that was the idea. Then called a couple of my friends, say, let's, put this on. Told them the idea. And it then ended up, let's make it more of a luxury rally. Well, that's where it started. I looked for a name since we're not going to use the name Podunk, and I found that the name Cannonball Run was available. No one had it. No one owned the trademark.
Wow.
Oh,
what
wow.
a surprise.
Next thing you know, we are the Cannonball Run.
Wow.
Okay. Not the same. I mean, we are the official Cannonball, the legal one with all the rights and everything to it. But the one that's put on, it was lost years ago because the person that had it was putting on, it was considered an illegal event since it was a race. So we had to abandon it and abandon the trademark. Well, the trademark was available, so we got it.
Wow.
All right. Okay. So now we've got the Cannonball Run. What are we going to do? Well, to make this story short, we made it a 5-star type rally. Started in Massachusetts. I even forget the name of the small town, but it was beautiful. So we took over the town in Massachusetts. We weren't that well known yet. So one of my partners on this suggested, well, if people don't know you and, you want crowds there, you have to go to where the crowds are. And then it looks like, okay. Yeah, very clever people.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so we started there, and then we went through various 5-star hotels while the leaves were changing. I think it was October, so during
Great
15
time
to
of year to
16.
be up there. Yeah,
It was beautiful, and stopped at the racetrack, Road America, I think it was one of those racetracks. Let's see, in different hotels. I forget the one there's one that's in North Carolina that they had the old White House underground. No, not just the White House, but the Congress. It was for a nuclear war. It was built for that.
Wow.
okay.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
A bunker.
A real bunker.
bunker,
We
yeah.
that was stopped there. And then we're, making our way down, 5 days. We finally get to Key West. I arranged for, now Key West is long, like 70, 80, whatever miles to get to the end. So I got a police escort there. I hired the police department and they gave us an escort. So we were able to go a little faster. We get to the end and we're on Duval Street. And this is right before their huge event, Something Fest. And we're coming down Duval Street, tons of people. So we went where the crowds are, and the police had it all blocked off for us anyway. And here we go with the cars, and we get to the end to where our hotel is. And again, this is where we really start messing with people. Our final destination was going to be Cuba, Havana, Cuba. Okay.
Now, do the participants know this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They knew that.
Okay,
yeah. No, they knew.
okay.
They're all nervous about it.
Okay.
It gets better. Okay. So at the end, I wanted to get the Tropicana. Some girls dressed up like the Tropicana, with all the hoopla on their hair.
Headdresses
Yeah.
and-
Yeah. I couldn't find any there. So I did manage to find 4 drag queens that dressed up and all that at the end of and so they're there congratulating us at the end of the rally. No one expected that. So we had that. All on video. Okay.
Wow.
So we did. And then we spent, next day there in some great hotel on a little island that was just, maybe a couple of blocks off the coast. Then the cars were then shipped back to wherever they came from. That was the end of the rally for the cars because we couldn't arrange for cars to go over to Havana. Instead, we hired two 737s, which were able to land on the Key West Airport. The airport's only so long, and it could take that. It couldn't take anything bigger, so we needed the two planes. So we had that, and we had already been to Havana like 4 times arranging all this. Went to, so in the morning, everyone, boarded. The cars were gone. They boarded the plane. All of them are nervous because they were going to Cuba. Castro was alive. It's a communist dictatorship. Holy crap. We're talking about scared people.
Yeah. Thinking they're going to get there and never get out, right?
That's the most peaceful place around. Havana was like a no-brainer. At any rate, no crime there either, by the way. There's no crime in Cuba. You'd think so.
Nobody dare, right?
No, it's true. Yeah. But it's very friendly there. Even the police are friendly. The tourism is a big deal there for people other than the U.S. But we were lucky because there was a break to where we could bring people over to Cuba at that time, a government break. So it was very lucky for us. And then we find out a week before leaving that we are going to be allowed to bring back all the Cuban rum and cigars we wanted.
Wow.
That was a big deal. Okay, so people are getting on the plane, and then I'm on plane 1 or 2, whichever one it was. And before landing, I'm up there on the microphone announcing in a very solemn voice, like, okay, we're going to be landing in Havana soon. And it had to be very serious, too. When you get off the plane, you go straight to immigration. You show them your passport and your visas. And once you get cleared through there, then you go pick up your luggage and you go right out through the entrance of the airport, and it's going to be crowded. Go straight to the parking lot, and you'll see the Cannonball buses. You get out, they do okay, all right, and everyone's like nervous as hell. Okay, so they get out, they go out the front of the airport and into the parking lot, and there are no buses, and people are scattered,
freaking out.
No buses at all. That's part of the plan. Then all of a sudden, about 5 or 10 minutes later, I had 50 1950s cars with the Cannonball logos on the windshield drive by and pick up all the people. They had no idea this was going to happen.
Cool Cuban old cars.
Way cooler than a bus.
Yeah, way cooler.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, these cars are amazing. But we had 50 of them for the participants, and so they were being chauffeured around, and they're actually the cars for the weekend, for the 2 days we were there.
That's fun. Yeah.
So that was our, and then we did various events and dinners and clubs and stuff in Havana, and that was, so we were the first, probably the only rally that has ever gone to Cuba, even though we couldn't take the cars there, which was a shame. That would have been nice, but that was that rally.
That's fun. So that's one of your favorites, obviously. I mean,
well,
especially
yeah,
if you
because I put it
organized
on. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's my idea. So,
So how about your favorite that you didn't organize?
Gumball.
Is it?
Gumball 3000. The 3000 stands for, it's a 3,000-mile drive. So if you're ready to put miles on your Ferrari, that's the rally. No one cares. It's a celebrity event. It costs a lot of money, but it's worth it, and you're a rock star while you're doing it. And then when you get home, you're totally lame again. Anyway, so it's nice. I get to spend a week being a rock star, and then come back to a normal nothing life. Whatever.
Now, when you say rock star, does that mean at certain stops along the way, you guys are greeted like you're the Rolling Stones or something like that?
Well, I'll give you an example. Okay, would be when we started, one I did in 2000, I think it was 15. We started in Stockholm, Sweden. So I had a gold Rolls Royce. My Phantom drophead was customized by West Coast Customs. Ryan just lives around the corner from me, so he did a whole thing and decked this thing out like you wouldn't believe. Gold wheels, gold everything. He just spent a week.
Bling.
This crew. Oh, you
Plenty
no
of
idea.
bling.
It's beyond anything. So I had the car flown over to Stockholm to get to the start line. The day that it started, we were next to the King's residence. The cars were all parked on the bridge there. There were at least 100,000 people on the street.
Whoa.
Just to see us.
Wow.
These are big media events. This is like these kind of rallies you won't see anywhere else. Maybe Mila Miglia or something, but to some degree. But this is just a whole different world. So we take off from there, and we're going through, and the crowds are like behind ropes and just going for blocks and blocks and blocks, crowds of people. Then we take off, and we were warned the day before. I mean, we do some stupid stuff on there. We were warned the day before at the driver's meeting before that by the chief of police of Stockholm there about their DUI laws. Okay, I got video of this too.
You must have a heck of a video library.
I do.
You've got some great stuff.
Okay, so the DUI laws. Well, first of all, in there at the start line, my co-pilot and I were dressed as, and this wasn't my idea, this is his idea. He's from Switzerland, Romanian, but he lives in Switzerland. We were dressed as Roman warriors, soldiers with whatever. So we were dressed alike.
In your gold chariot?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the idea. He never explained that to me, but we did that. All right, so the chief of police warned everyone that it's a the DUI laws, 0.1 or above is automatic jail. 0 tolerance. So if you had one martini the night before, and you're driving in the morning, you're pulled over, you may still go to jail. Just 1 martini. It's that bad. So it's like no tolerance at all.
Wow.
So again, the night before I was at the party and I had 3 martinis, and I fell through a table. That's a whole other story.
And there's video of this too.
Actually, not the table, but me drinking out of a big bottle of champagne like this, wherever that came from. So we get in the car. I mean, I figure, okay, so no one's going to stop a Rolls Royce for a DUI when there's all the Ferraris and stuff around. Well, I was wrong. We're about 30 miles outside of Stockholm, and there's a rest area, and there's a cop on the street there making every car that had stickers on it, because the rallies, you have stickers, pull in, and then they had other cops in the rest area giving the DUI checks. So, pull in, I go, shit, I'm going to jail. It's because I was driving. My co-pilot hadn't had anything to drink the night before, but still. So we get out, and then the other cops were already checking out 2 cars in front of us, so they had their attention on them. Well, we're dressed alike, and well, I have to explain something. I had the TV crew from Gumball who was doing a documentary on us and other drivers there. We were already mic'd up, so we had our lavalier mics, and the cameraman was there in the car with us driving, and the cameraman along with the announcer, whatever. So we had 4 people in the rolls, the 2 video people.
So they hear you guys hatching this plan.
Oh, no. He's just they're just recording everything. Yeah. So I go to the side, and I talked to him. I said, we got to switch places. He said, see, yeah. He says, they'll want to check you. I said, yeah, of course they'll want to check. So he goes back, and they didn't notice because we were dressed alike anyway. They gave him the DUI check. And they go, thank you. They thank him very much. They had some suspicions, but nothing else came of it. Otherwise, I'd probably be in jail right now not talking to you at this event. And this was years ago. So this is just an example of what can happen on Gumball.
Any other crazy things? I mean,
yeah.
What's the craziest thing when you talk about a rally and just crazy, stupid stuff that happens? What comes to mind?
Okay. Well, no, there's one more part of that one. Once we got over, they flew the cars to Reno and flew us in a 787 party jet. One guy who was part of it, I can't think of the name, but they were like the jackass of Europe. And he goes, this is all on video. This is on the 787. And he strips down totally naked and runs through the plane. And there's guys and girls in the plane. There's like a couple hundred people in the plane. Not only that, people are smoking cigars, smoking cigarettes, some people smoking pot on the plane.
Oh, geez.
The stewardesses were all getting wasted with us.
Oh, my God.
The pilot comes out, and he's stuffing girls in the overhead compartment. I mean, this is a flight.
Holy
This doesn't go by FAA standards. But, yeah, at any rate. So he's running back and forth, and there's celebrities on we got Dolph Lundgren, from Rocky IV, the Russian, and other people. It was something. At any rate, so that was the plane flight. Then we get to Reno, and then from Reno, also, we had another fellow that ended up getting a speeding ticket, Lewis Hamilton.
That makes sense.
Fastest
Yeah.
driver in the world, F1.
That makes sense.
He is the
Yeah.
biggest yeah, so he's on the rally with us.
Oh my God.
And he
Wow.
gets a ticket out in the desert. So, I mean,
Wow.
and it goes on and on.
Could you
And
imagine pulling over Lewis Hamilton?
he did. He pulled over Lewis
and
Hamilton.
you're like, should I be giving you this
He
ticket?
probably didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
don't know.
I mean, he's pretty popular.
Yeah, it's F1. That's true.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
Are the rallies overseas? It sounds like they're much bigger than they are in the States.
No, the Gumball Rally always sells out, and it's always 120 cars.
Okay.
Always sells out. It's most car guys, especially want to do rallies, they put it. It's their bucket list item.
Sure.
It's that big of a deal. But the other crazy one, the first one I did in Europe was London to Turkey. So I had that was I think 2011 or 12, somewhere like that. So I ship over. I had a Maserati, whatever the sports model was, not the quadruport, but ship it over. Gets there and it's got electrical problems. So I finally get the car, jumped, get it to the hotel. The next morning, they take it, they're bringing the cars that were parked there to Trafalgar Square to fill up the whole area because this is the start line of Gumball. And boy, that place was packed. So it gets over there, and then they say, oh, by the way, your car wouldn't start. We had to jump it. So I'm at the start line, parked with a dead battery.
Oh,
Jeez.
And I'm trying to figure out, let's see here. How do you get the car started? I need a jump.
in the
But
middle
they
of
don't have
Trafalgar
AAA.
Square.
They don't have AAA.
In the middle of
Right.
Trafalgar Square.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, packed with people. They wouldn't
Yeah.
allow cars in. So we had to figure out what's their AAA there. I forget what it was, but some guy with a thing came in from whatever service and started me up just in time to get on the start line. I'm right behind a Bugatti on the start line. So we've got that, but already knowing we've got electrical issues. Okay, so then we drive, get to the channel, the train that goes under the water. And I warned him, I said, there's only one lane in there. And I warned the people, I said, I can't stop the car because if I do, the battery will die. He says, oh, don't worry, we'll take care of it. Okay, stop the car. And we get to the other side in France. And of course, it won't start. They finally I'm hanging up half the train. No one can get off because of me. I'm making friends. Finally, they get a truck that starts me, get to France. Okay, we're in France, driving down, and then get to an area on the highway there where a cop pulls me over because I have no front license plate and says, you need it on. I said, okay. So you go back to town that way, about 20 miles. No one's speaking much English, and have it put on. So I had to take the car there, have someone drill into there to put the front license plate on, and come back. And he's holding my passport and driver's license, meanwhile. Come back and show him I did it. Say, okay, good. Thank you. That'll be €1,000. Thank you very much.
Wow.
So I didn't like it. Get to Paris, great party and all that stuff. It was wonderful. Then we get car started the next morning. Then we get to Barcelona. Everything's fine. Actually, we had a cop. I got lost getting into Barcelona. So a cop is speeding in front of me to follow me, and we're just hauling ass through the streets to get to the hotel in Barcelona. That was cool. The next morning, okay, from Barcelona to Formula One, Monaco. Okay. Now, Gumball does the best of the best. So we're at the Fairmont Hotel, which is right on the hairpin turn. And I mean, the seats. You're at the hotel. You're in the pool area watching Formula One right in front of you.
Wow.
Great location. All the yachts out there. Perfect. Okay. So the next morning after Formula One, we're supposed to go to Venice. Okay. So, no, which isn't that far. A couple, 3 hours, whatever, from Monaco. So of course, the car is having problems. I tried to take it to the Ferrari dealer during Formula One, but the mechanics were all out on the track. So I'm driving and I'm driving and I'm driving. Nothing's working very well. I'm driving and hours are going by. I see a C-store. I pull over where I realize I'm almost in Rome.
Wrong direction.
It was worse than that. It was 200 miles away from Venice, which was only supposed to be a short drive. So I asked the cop, so you have to go back that way about 200 miles to Bologna and then cut down to Venice. Okay. So now, by this time, we should have been there 2 p.m. By this time, it was about 8 or 9 at night. Get to Bologna, it's about 11 or so. In the car, starting and stopping. We're in the toll booth, and the car dies completely. Now, I've got this Maserati with California license plates wrapped in pink, purple, and green wrap and tinted windows. A cop comes over. It won't move. The car won't move. And someone, whoever's running the toll gate, whatever, said, get the hell out of here in Italian. Cop comes over with a gun drawn because he didn't know what in the hell we were doing there, realizes what's happening. He spoke broken English, pushed the car out. He calls a tow truck. Truck won't stop. Now the electrical is totally gone. So I had to abandon the Maserati. So we left it with him. Now, these only happen on Friday nights, this kind of crap.
Of course.
So he took us to the train station. There's supposed to be trains running once an hour to get to Venice, and this is like 10 o'clock at night now. Well, he takes us to the train station, drops us off, and he's going to take the car to the dealer and monitor it from there because we need to finish the rally. So we get to the train station, and the train stopped running. Oh, by the way, while we're getting out with our bags and stuff at the train station, the street in front of the train station is filled with ladies of the night with no teeth, some of the weirdest things in the middle of the street hanging around soliciting.
Oh my
I'll leave it at that.
gosh.
Finally, we take a very expensive cab ride from Bologna to Venice. We arrive at 2 in the morning, Venice. We had to be up and be ready to go by 6 in the morning. A friend of mine in Venice that had a Rolls Royce had room for us in the morning. We found this out in the morning. So then we, from there, we take, we're lucky. Now, we get to Serbia or somewhere, one of the countries there, in a 1-star hotel, of all things. That's what they had us booked as. It was really weird. And in the morning, the people with the Rolls Royce let me know that they can only take one because they had someone else joining him. So I let my co-pilot do it because I knew the people in Gumball, and I figured I'd hitch a ride in the luggage truck. All right, so then, and I'm going, okay, this is going to be a challenge. Okay, then all of a sudden one of the Gumball staff said, well, found me and said there's a 458 Ferrari, because I had one at home, that they wouldn't let the owners of it through because of their nationality, but the car is here, so I ended up driving that to Turkey. I mean, this is Gumball. This is like, you don't know what's going to happen. It's it's real life. The craziest things will happen, and it's
You just got to be
is that the main
go with the flow.
Is that the main allure to doing the race? It's not just so much taking your car and driving it.
no. This is a party. This is we've got. I mean, our DJs. Okay, with Dead Mouse is always on it, so he's always giving us a private party. We've got Afrojack. We've got these other characters that are there. And of course, David Hasselhoff is at the beginning of each one. And
he's big in Europe. I know that.
Oh, he's huge.
He's huge. in
Germans love David
Europe. They
Hasselhoff.
love David
But
Hasselhoff.
That's an example of Gumball. That's my favorite, and you really don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea.
So what happened to the Maserati?
Oh, they fixed it, and then Maserati factory, which is probably about 70 miles away, kind of oversaw it, and then they shipped it back to me at home.
Wow.
So
What an adventure.
could I ask Steve, you seem to be an aficionado of Italian exotic cars, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Is that your thing? Like, do you have a McLaren, or do you have anything else, or you like the Italians?
I like the. Oh, I've had Ferrari since I started in '82. My first one was 308
Okay.
Ferrari. Like what's his name? The Hawaiian dude.
Oh,
Magnum PI?
yeah, Magnum.
Magnum,
Magnum
right,
Mobile,
that
right?
was the first
Yeah.
one.
Great looking car.
Then I've had 10 Ferraris since then.
Okay.
One of them, 84. It was a 512 Boxer Ferrari, and my
Nice.
wife and I were very, very good friends with George Barris and his wife. Okay, and so we do everything together. And he talked me into taking that Ferrari and customizing it.
Mm.
Oh, that doesn't happen too often, does it? So
Well,
what-
let's put it this way: he customized his 308 Ferrari to being all gold with lights flashing on and off.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we did this. He painted the car candy pearlescent ruby wine, which is not a Ferrari color, with these wheels matching and lights and stuff going on and off. And the kicker was there's a grill in front like about this. I had a button I pushed on that. The grill came up like this and had a Knight Rider light on.
Jeez.
He did the Knight Rider.
Yeah,
The
Knight
Knight Rider
Yeah.
Ferrari.
So I have Knight Rider. So
George-
I can't tell you how many people George and I pissed off when we do the Ferrari drives with all the
Oh, I
hardcore.
can't imagine.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
So
no one liked us.
did George need to just spend a lot of time convincing you to do it to your Ferrari?
Yeah, well, I drew the line when he wanted to chop the top and make it a convertible. I wasn't going to do that because they didn't make the Boxer 512 was not a convertible.
Now, have you gotten the nasty gram or the nasty call from Ferrari HQ, like where you can't buy any more Ferraris? No way.
No, they didn't do that back then. That was in the 80s. That was the 80s.
Oh, okay. So it was more the Wild West back then. Okay.
Yeah. Deadmau5 got it. Deadmau5 got the nasty gram.
Well, I know Leno's talked about that. Leno has a real good piece on Leno's Garage about why he doesn't have Ferraris and he doesn't like their policy and so on. And
it's interesting. Just a lot to take in.
Are you into the customizations of your cars, or just really more just you just like driving the cars as is? And
well, I mean, I custom color-wise interior as far as decorating that out, but I'm not. No, I'm beyond customizing.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's that. But I've had. I've had 10 Ferraris.
Yeah.
And I love Ferraris. I tried Lambos. They're gorgeous cars. They're beautiful cars, but they're just not comfortable, I guess, for me at my age.
Is it also like the Ferraris have a flair unlike other cars? Do you think that's something unique to the Ferraris that maybe you like more than like a Lambo or something like that?
I think Lambos are much better looking in a lot of cases.
Really?
I love Lambo. Oh, no, Lambos are beautiful cars. Yeah, that's the Aventadors, or whatever they're called. I don't follow it that much, but no.
Is the Ferrari more of a like you said, a comfort thing, or is it? What is it about the Ferraris that you really gravitate towards?
The heritage.
Heritage. Okay.
The heritage is part of it right there.
Yeah.
They are more comfortable. Yeah, they're definitely comfortable for a rally. They've got. My God, the warranty for 5-7 years, whatever, and all service is taken care of. So it's not. So when you talk about how expensive it is to take care of a Ferrari, well, if you're getting a new one, it's there's no expense
because it's covered in the price.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I think their warranty is in service contract may be better than Lambo, but I haven't had a Lambo, so I can't be an expert at that.
There's always the rumor that or the legend that the Ferraris are so unreliable and they're always fixing it or whatever. Is that true?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I have no issue. I haven't had issues. My last 3 Ferraris, I've had 0 issues. Nothing. I mean, they're like bulletproof. Yeah. No. Yeah.
What's your favorite Ferrari?
The one I've got now, my 812.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
Yeah.
And do you look back fondly the old days driving the older Ferraris? I mean, is there anything old versus new going through your head? Like, yeah, I'd like to go back, reminisce, and drive one of the old Ferraris again.
I like the Boxer. That one, even though it was only 400 horsepower, at the time I got it new, it was like, oh my God, 400 horsepower. I was scared of it. And now they're like 800 horsepower and 1,000 and whatever. Yeah. So, but no, that one I did like. And I also I had a 355 convertible, which is a beautiful car.
And they sound amazing. Those 355s have a sound, a throaty. You heard a 355?
I think all Ferraris have an amazing sound. Which is why if I was in the market,
there's something about a 355 though. I think most Ferrari guys will say, I shouldn't say most, a lot of Ferrari guys will say the 355 really does have one of the nicest sounds.
It's true.
Yeah.
CJ, we need to ask him about Craig's Ferrari. I want his opinion on Craig's Ferrari.
Oh, the FF. It's the FF.
Have you ever owned a FF?
No.
Okay. Why?
What?
Because he is this
The car itself is an unbelievable car. I mean, it's a great car. I mean, you can take that down a ski slope with snow on it, and it'll, the things you can do with that car. I don't care for the design of it. No, that's the only thing.
Yeah. No, I said the same thing.
We don't care for the design.
A friend of the show bought one.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful car. I agree. But I looked at it and I just kind of went, there's something wrong about that. It's not a... And same thing, it's the design. It's beautifully designed if you look at it objectively.
Oh, it's a great car.
But if you look at it with other Ferraris, it's like,
well, that's what I like about it. It's a different type of Ferrari. You know, I do like the hatch. I do like the way it's shaped, like the shooting brake look or whatever.
Yeah, it's a practical Ferrari.
Yeah, practical.
Definitely.
For sure.
Saying practical on Ferrari,
that's what I mean. Should a Ferrari be practical?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I wasn't about to say anything on the Sweden to Vegas one because I'm running with Dolph Lundgren, and he's driving an FF.
Oh.
He has an FF.
So interesting.
Anyway, so I didn't say anything negative about it. Gotcha. Besides, he's stronger than me, and he's a better fighter, I think.
Yeah.
I
will destroy you.
Whatever you say, Dolph, it's all good.
No, he's not. He's nice. So, yeah.
Isn't he like highly educated too?
Very.
Yeah, he's got like a PhD or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's one of those guys, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of those guys who has a reputation as being kind of a musclehead, you know, from his movie career, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But in real life, he's got like multiple degrees and stuff. He's like super smart.
Brilliant.
Actually, that brings me to a question I want to ask you, Steve, is that doing all these events and being a car guy, you know, through and through, do you find that the majority or most or all of your friends are all car guys, car people? Or
Mostly.
yeah.
Mostly. Yeah. I mean,
Or
the group you hang-
do you spend most of your time with car people?
usually.
Yeah.
Usually. I mean, that's my life. I like putting on the events, like especially the one coming up, the Santa Barbara.
I was about to, that was going to be our
The biggest thing
segue
I've ever
into-
done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we want to hear about it.
Yeah,
I
tell us
don't know
about
about
that.
the Santa
Well,
Barbara.
this is Kevin's event.
He's not talking about the Expo.
Oh,
Santa
Expo,
Barbara Expo.
Santa Barbara
Okay.
Auto Expo, or
Yes.
Santa Barbara County Auto Expo.
Yeah.
When I heard about it, I had to be involved, so I'm helping him organize it. But first of all, it's a charity event. I've never put on a charity event, so this is something new for me. And I've got, I'm fairly well known in the L.A. County area and Orange County, I guess, for putting on car events. So hopefully my influence can bring the L.A. crowd over there, because when he did it last, I think it was a couple of years ago, during COVID.
Yeah.
That was at the golf course. I think it was.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
At 400 cars and
Oh,
7,000 people during COVID.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
last
my
minute too. It
God.
wasn't. He had some issues going on setting it up right, so it was like he didn't have a lot of time to promote it.
No, well, the problem was they changed venue on him, I think a month before, and he pulled it off, which was amazing. And
He's
it turned out
brilliant.
well.
He can do anything.
Yeah.
He can make anything happen.
He's
So
a good dude.
oh yeah. So I mean, that pulled up during COVID to have that many people. I wasn't there. I didn't see very many masks from, but we didn't. Once during COVID, once you started going north of LA County, not that many people were. But they're saying, oh, it's bullshit.
The insanity went down as
I
you
know.
left LA County for
mean,
sure. Even
I
up here, even in Ventura County, we were compared to LA. It was much more chill up here.
Oh yeah. And then you get up. So I'd put on drives with. I had a driving group called Malibu Rat Pack and some other. And so we take drives up Los Olivos and Santa Barbara, whatever. We get to Los Olivos, and we're looking. This is during the middle of COVID, and no one's wearing any masks.
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard that. Just like the rest of the country, right?
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. At any rate, so back on this. So I mean, he arranged to get our concourse, the cars on Sunday morning at University of Santa Barbara, or University of California, Santa Barbara, on their soccer fields on campus.
Wow.
5 soccer fields, which hold 1,000 cars.
That's
And-
amazing in itself. Knowing UCSB, that's amazing in itself.
Well, no, Kevin is very well known in Santa
Yeah,
Barbara.
yeah.
He has a lot of followers and
Sure.
people that love him.
Yeah.
And so, and then on his charity, he's got, the sheriffs, the highway patrol, the local police, all are involved to some degrees. And then the county and the city behind him, the TV stations. I mean, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. And then the way he's got it planned, so the day before, which is really going to be a lot of fun, is putting on a rally.
Yeah.
Now,
This
not
is
the
where
same
you
kind of
come in.
rally we're talking, not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Gumball rally, and not a stupid one.
Dolph Lundgren won't be there.
Yeah, no, this is a real rally. It's one where you have to do things, and then you win trophies, prizes, whatever, by completing things. And it's 65 cars it's limited to, and they're going to be, and the route is through the mountains and the beaches, beautiful scenery, but you have to do stuff. Yeah, so it's
not
a
a
real,
race.
it's a rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all these other things, the Gold Rush and Gumball and Cannonball, whatever, even though they're called rallies, they're not really rallies. They're a party.
Like you said, party on wheels.
They're a party on wheels.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is a real rally.
so
So
this is the Scott and Monty show, right?
No.
Oh, it's not
this is
something different.
it's Kevin
that was
Haverly.
Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
no, this is completely different.
Different rally.
Yeah, yeah.
Different rally.
So Kevin is going to host a rally before the day before
For the
event.
Expo.
Yeah,
I think
Saturday.
that's on the Friday.
It's tied to the
Yeah.
Expo.
And then, definitely. This is
Okay.
part of it. It's part of the charity.
Got
and
it.
then at night, it's a gala, a dinner,
Oh.
and it's going to be, the gala is going to be Al Capone style. It's like speakeasy.
Oh, cool.
So you have to have a certain knock on the door, and people are going to be dressed like in zoot suits and
Very,
Al Capone and all
very
that.
You need a
That'll be
password.
Exactly, yeah,
The only
no,
way you can get in is
that's
you got to have
part
a
of it.
password.
That's pretty cool.
That's part of it, and you have 250 people. That's part of the chair, and there'll of course be a live auction, but it'll be really, really cool. So this is Santa Barbara, and again, we have some, can't mention any names, but our host of celebrities, Grand Marshal, whatever, all of that stuff, and be totally the events covered by the TV station. They'll be they're going to have the placards on the buses there. So it's a big deal. It's the biggest thing that Santa Barbara does.
Very cool.
His event. And I'm just proud to be a co-organizer, but he's like the chief. He's the brains,
No,
So that's August 10th and 11th, and it's amazing. So that's
Any kind of time to right around the Pebble Beach, and they got
the circuit.
Is this
when
the week? Is this the week before Pebble?
yes. This is the first stop on
Okay.
the way to Pebble.
That's what I thought.
It's the
Yeah.
first stop. It's on. Okay, so here's how it works. So on this weekend, this is our weekend, and then people actually start driving up to Pebble on that Monday, but most of the spectators leave on Wednesday or Thursday. But so other people that are taking their cars up, they'll leave Monday and Tuesday and maybe Wednesday. And there's some parties that happen. The big part of Pebble happens at the end of the week.
Right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, which is the Concours d'Elegance there.
But it's a nice timing between
Oh,
the
yeah.
two
Yeah. It's
between
perfect.
the two events.
And
Yeah.
it's on the way, and get special rates for some of the hotels because of us.
Sure.
And it.
Obviously, the weather's great at that time.
Oh, yeah.
The drive up there will be beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to ask Steve. Steve, have you been to the Quail?
Mhm.
Well, tell us about the Quail. I'm intrigued by the Quail.
It's just another car show with some amazing cars on it. I'm intrigued because I don't know what it costs now. Usually, it's about $1,000 a person to get in, but you get all the free caviar you want to eat.
Well, there you go. You could make that
For
up.
$1,000.
How much caviar could you eat, though?
You could make that up.
And, yeah, and the food and the drinks are.
If it's the right
all-
caviar, just
it's all free.
a couple times,
It's all
you're there.
free.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, and the cars that are in it too are invited. I mean, you.
Oh, yeah.
you
Oh,
have
you
to
can't just-
apply. You got
It's not a cars and coffee.
yeah,
It's a real show.
Yeah, it's a real show.
They're amazing. You've got the sponsors, and a lot of the people like Lamborghini may introduce a new model. People are introducing new models at
Yeah.
that event.
That's what I think's intriguing about it.
It
Is we've
is.
seen some premieres that are like, whoa, look at this thing. This is amazing.
Yeah. Oh, these events. I mean, you get dressed and decked out. You go even when you do the Pebble Beach Concourse event. It's the kind of thing where the ladies would wear the big hats, and it'd be very
yeah.
Kentucky Derby style.
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's just amazing up there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to travel in his circles.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Do you need a personal valet, Steve, or anything? I mean, let me know because I want to come hang with Steve at some of these things.
I think he
right?
drives his own cars. I don't think he wants a valet.
I do drive.
I can load his luggage and stuff, right?
Do you have a thing against valet for what they did for you in Malibu?
Oh no! I used to be a valet. I was in the '60s. I didn't have a job. I got a job parking cars at the Continental Hotel on Sunset Boulevard, and it was just like Ferris Bueller. The fancy cars would come and had to park them, and yeah, I took them out for a little drive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So
Ferris Bueller in real life.
That's
I love
fun.
it.
Yeah, I'm not Ferris. I wasn't
not
Ferris.
Ferris,
I
but
was the idiot.
You were
parking
the
attendant.
guys, those sketchy looking guys.
I was
right?
that guy.
We'll take care of your car.
Oh yeah.
Relax.
Oh, but at least once
Relax.
in a
That's
while
it.
I got a 50-cent tip, and so that was pretty good.
Hey.
We're talking the '60s.
Did
Now
you ever
I'm-
park Sinatra's car?
No.
Okay. Any Rat Packers?
Never did that, but we did, and we were hanging out with it was the '60s. We were hanging out with all the top legendary rock groups, but they
Yeah.
were just friends at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
the Doors, for example, was the house band at my friend's little after hours club,
Wow.
and they'd be playing "Light My Fire" all night long. And shut up already, But yeah, but that was our.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm a failed rock star.
See, we got to
so-
dig these stories out. Steve
Yeah.
just has a wealth of like.
Oh, there's more.
There's just so much good stuff.
Well, we're gonna have to have you back on the show, but also check out the Zuma Cars and Coffee at
Yep.
Redondo, right?
the plug.
It'll be too late on that, but it's 245 Harbor. I think it's North Harbor, and it's actually in the huge parking lot there at the ocean. So
Is that right where the booze cruise ships leave from?
the booze? No,
In Marina? In Marina?
I don't know. It's at the marina.
Because I'm pretty sure I've parked in that lot because we've done actual shoots for this charity on one of the big booze cruise boats there, and it's right next to Killer Shrimp. So I
Oh,
know,
no,
I
that's
know where
Marina Del Rey.
Yeah,
Killer
Marina
Shrimp.
Del Rey, right?
Oh no,
He's
this is
talking
Redondo
Redondo.
Beach.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Zo-
so you were at Marina, but
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's Redondo,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, the
Okay.
city of Zuma Beach is now located in Redondo Beach.
Got it. Okay.
The Zuma Annex.
You've had a southward
That's what it is.
migration of the organization,
And I
right?
can't change the name. You know,
And you
people were
shouldn't.
not-
That's
It
it.
works.
That's your-
It
that's your
works.
group.
I like Zuma. It's cool.
Well, it seems to me that every location seems to have like like the Ventura one. There's a certain group that knows Ventura. So if the Ventura Cars and Coffee had to move to Oxnard, it still would be the Ventura because the group of people that the
Yeah.
regulars.
Yeah,
Well, it's
for
Ventura
sure.
County in Oxnard,
Exactly.
so
Sure.
that's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
For sure.
But Zuma is that you have a certain type of crowd that is well behaved, and you want wherever that group goes, it should be. That's the coined term. So
Yeah.
I can see that.
I like it.
Yeah, it's
I
true.
say keep it. That's my vote.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just don't want Zuma to move to Tijuana. Because, but I mean, I keep fighting. That's with the Zuma riots again. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like one thing we don't give up. We've had like 4 or 5 whatever locations, and people get disappointed, and they say, but we've always come through so far.
You're definitely the
Yeah.
most resilient
No
Cars
doubt.
and Coffee.
No doubt.
That's true. That I have to agree with.
I would go to that Cars and Coffee. You know me, Gabe. I'm not a huge Cars and Coffee guy. I would go to that just because I want to see all the exotics. That'd be fun.
Sure.
Oh,
That'd be
they're,
cool.
they're fun, and the people are great.
Yeah,
yeah.
People who own those kinds of cars are definitely entertaining and a breed apart, I would say, a little bit.
Entertaining. Yeah, that's a good word for it. That works.
I'm being diplomatic.
I have a question. I'm sure this is a big topic for Cars and Coffee. How do you get guys to behave at your Cars and Coffee? Guys or girls?
Because these are people that repeatedly come, so it's almost like a huge family.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that are there will not put up with someone that's being an asshat.
Mm-hmm.
But we've had very little, like when we were in Marina del Rey, once in a while someone would burn out, but it was no big deal. One time, in fact, I got it on video, someone burned out, and there was a sheriff in our lot, and he took off after him. But we've had really no issues.
Kind of self-policing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Very
good.
self-policing. The other event that was at Pacific Palisades was known for having burnout people. So they had craziness all over.
Mm.
It was really weird. But no, our group is just very, they want to see, this is the last great place that we could do, fairly close to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any other places that we could put on a Cars and Coffee. So we lose this thing, and
Redondo Beach is beautiful. It's beautiful. I did a documentary on the outrigger paddling with the club there and everything. So I hung there a lot at King Harbor and everything.
Right.
It's beautiful down there.
that's
really
where we
pretty.
are, right next to King Harbor,
Yeah.
Redondo.
I know where
Yeah.
you're at. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. It's a nice area.
Well, we're going to have to go check that out. It's the first Sunday of
The
each
first Sunday of every. This time, this is not the first Sunday we're doing it. It's our first event,
month? Mhm.
but it's been almost 2 months since we've had one, so I had to put something on.
Sure.
So we're going to do this one, and then our plan, and we'll announce it on our Instagram, which is my plug, Zuma Cars and Coffee,
Mhm.
or
you go.
Cars and Coffee. It's very easy to find, and it tells everything about us. But we had to, yeah. So it'll be. So the next one we're hoping to be August, the first week in August. I think. Wait. We've got June, July. Yeah, the first Sunday in August, and hopefully the first Sunday of every time. But it'll all be announced on that on
Cool.
the site.
Yeah, we'll check that out. Sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
August is going to be busy for you. You're going to have that, and then you're going to have Kevin's thing,
That's right.
and then you got to go up to Pebble.
Yeah.
So you're going to.
Oh, I may be a lead. That to make it
you
worse
won't be
is
home for a month.
I think I'm supposed to. Again, I usually lead the Gumball round, the Gumball 3000 drive from L.A. up there. So
Okay.
the people that join us all get stickers on their cars, whatever.
fun.
But yeah, and then you have the parties. Then you have the Gumball party up there, which is a whole other.
I bet.
There's stories on that too. So
Wow.
not today.
All right. Steve, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. And we'll have a part 2 because we know you have many more stories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make some up. if I
Yeah.
don't.
And we'll see you at the car shows.
Yeah, we'll come visit you at Zuma.
Yeah.
Do.
Redondo. Zuma.
Redondo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Redondo Zuma.
And we'll definitely
All right.
we'll definitely see you at the Santa Barbara Auto Expo.
Yeah,
for
we'll
sure.
see you there.
We'll
Oh
be
yeah,
there.
definitely. Cool.
All right. So don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. We have our YouTube.
Channel.
Thank you very much. And you can contact us through our tip line /storyline. So if you want to join us here in studio, if you have a great story, you think these idiots aren't talking about the right thing, let us know.
Tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah, go to the website, westofTulsa.com, click on the tip line page, which you're probably going to change it to storyline page, right, Dan?
That works for me.
Yep. And contact us. Otherwise, we will see you west of Tulsa.